I am about to talk on a topic that I never thought I would talk about on here. Especially this early on in my channel, it's very different than all of the other content I've made. But it's on my mind. And that is because of a little breakthrough I had last night in thinking. So, the topic is marriage and singleness. And one of the reasons why I never thought I would make a video on this is because it's a topic that I really haven't spent a lot of time thinking about in my life, which is very strange for a 32-year-old who is single. But the last 11 years of my life have been complicated with concussion journey, not being able to be myself, a lot of survival mode, and so I feel like I missed my whole 20s kind of in a way, and so coming out the other side of this journey for the first time in my life at 32, it feels like I can be an adult and I can entertain thoughts of the future and what that looks like. And so really it feels like for the first time in my life I'm seriously pursuing an understanding of singleness and marriage and the future. So one of the neat things about that journey so far is that I've been able to approach it from a place of curiosity, and this topic of marriage was just an interest, a general interest topic that I could just kind of binge into as I do. Like I latch on to different ideas and subjects when they become new, and I just have to go deep right away and get a good level of understanding of the basics and just explore it and kind of get out of my system and then move on. And then eventually I rotate through and come back to different interests. But it's been really neat to explore that topic of marriage and singleness from just a purely curious kind of standpoint. Like, it seems like there are no ulterior motives. It's just like the way you should approach learning things, just, yeah, like being a kid, just soaking it all in type thing. So, yeah, that's been how I've approached things, and this topic for me is through the lens of being a Christian. So if you're not a Christian, I don't know if this video will be helpful or not, but the brainwave that I had last night, which was just a really cool thought for me, was the path to singleness, the path to marriage as a Christian, is the same path. And this was a super exciting breakthrough for me because for most of my life, I have struggled immensely with not knowing what was ahead. I am the type of person who likes to know what's ahead. I like to plan. I like to prepare. I want to know where I'm going, what I'm working towards. I struggled for so long to know, like, if I don't know what I'm working towards, how do I get there? And for me, marriage wasn't really a part of this mentality at all. It was focused on career stuff, living situation. Career was the main thing that I always struggled with, like feeling like I needed to have something. I needed to figure that out, and it's like, well, how do I work towards it if I don't know what it is I'm working towards? Because I like improving, I like getting better at things, and I always thought, like, if I just knew what I wanted to do, if I had this thing to work towards, then I could make a plan, I could be there by now, I could be world class at something if I just had one singular focus. I could double down and just go, and we're naturally wired to, I think, want to work towards something. And so then applying that to the marriage and singleness aspect, it was so freeing to realize that the path to getting to either of those things, they're very different, is basically the same as a Christian. So the best possible way for me to prepare for marriage and the best possible way for me to prepare for singleness is the exact same. It's working on myself as a person. It's trying to become more like Christ. It's embracing the process and journey of sanctification. Like you're equipping yourself for life as a Christian. And so the marriage and singleness side of the equation is kind of irrelevant in that sense. The path is the same, which was just this crazy breakthrough. So I can't think of anything else in life where there are two outcomes that are so different, and yet the path to get there would be the same. So that was, a really exciting breakthrough for me, and very freeing and very encouraging, and exciting for me to just stumble across this, have this little breakthrough, and I'm not actively pursuing one or the other, and the topic of marriage again is one that I haven't even spent a lot of time on in my life, and just having it be a natural process, just another thing I was curious about, and seeing how everything's related, connected to my love of learning and growth, and especially lately, also with my journey of trying to go with the flow and tune into what God wants for me just in my days, just activity to activity, trusting Him with my life, with my job journey over the years. It's been a lot of work, not work, work, not work, weird jobs shifting around, and concussion issues intertwined in all of that. And it was always so frustrating, never knowing what was next. I never had anything lined up. And through that job journey in the past couple of years, God did really teach me to trust Him with things and to let go of the need to know what's next. So He finally broke through to me in the job category. And then the marriage category, was something that I wasn't worried about, wasn't even really thinking about for most of my life. And so for Him to bring that topic to mind is just something I'm curious about and I can dive into to try to understand better. Just purely from the point of not needing to know. Like, it's crazy to go into a topic as big as marriage and singleness and never even have that desire or need to know the outcome. Like, for me, that's crazy growth. Like, that's just God. Like, because that's not my default at all. But it's been so amazing to have that approach of, like, there's no ulterior motives, there's no desire one way or the other. I don't need to know what's ahead. I don't need to force things. I can keep learning. I can keep living my life, and ultimately the point is to try to become more like Christ in all that I do, to develop myself in this journey of sanctification. So that was, as I said, an exciting breakthrough for me, and just one that is so freeing and has so much peace around it. And it's so easy. Like, it takes this, this major life decision, that you think you need to have in place, and it just lifts that as, it's not a burden. It lifts that completely, and it's just another aspect of doing life and seeing what happens, but seeking God in all of it. Then He's going to unfold His plan for my life. Whether I can glorify Him the most in singleness or glorify Him the most in marriage, like, He knows. whether the single path is more conducive to my sanctification or the marriage path is more conducive to my sanctification. Like, he knows. So those are the two, big things for me is, glorifying God and like my own sanctification. He knows what's best for both of those, and I don't need to know. And the beauty of that is it doesn't change anything about how I live my life. It's the same path. So yeah, I'm obviously excited about that breakthrough. So yeah, brand new topic that I didn't think I would talk about, but excited about those connections that I've made lately and just all the things God is teaching me and steering my life in whatever chapter this is. So